you'll be able to sit for them to see you clearly, because all these things play an important role. So let a friend assist you and then drive test it. Know that yes, it is going to work. Hey, Daja, how ni hao, Jintian. I'm trying to speak the little Chinese that I know. Jintian sure, Shinchilio. All right. I think on Saturdays my Chinese does not come well. Don't worry. I would say proper Chinese. My Chinese really come when I go to the market, because that one I need them to reduce it for me. So if you have not watched even my videos on the market, you can even go back and then watch some of the videos that I do on the market for you to know that yes, ABJ can really speak good Chinese here. But if I really want to tell you now, it's not going to come. Okay, so what do I have for you today? Welcome back to Scholarship Insights on ABJ Vlogs. Scholarship Insights on ABJ Vlogs. And so today's video is very interesting, and it is very important that we do this video. If you have really gone through the struggle of getting Chinese scholarship, then you realize that this particular point is very important, because this is like you're almost through. It's like you're playing a football game and you're at the quarterfinal. No, this is more or less like the semi-final, because let me put this one at the quarterfinal, because after this stage you go to the semi-final, that is getting the admission and then waiting for the scholarship. That will be the final. All right, so I'm talking to you about how you're going to prepare for Chinese interview. Like if you are called or you have been emailed that, hey, congratulations, we are pleased to inform you that this is usually how Chinese people are, or congratulations, we are delighted, yes, to tell you that, hey, you have qualified for an interview, and so be ready for an interview on this particular day. Then the question becomes, hey, what do I need to prepare for? Yes, we have been able to help or assist several people to go through interviews, and they have been successful. Some might have not been successful, but they need to try again. I've encouraged them, and I know that even in this particular year, we have several people, if nothing at all, ABJ Vlogs have been able to help a lot of people. But solidly, currently I have about 11 people who have one way or the other won a particular scholarship, and they're going to come to China. So do not take our channel for granted. Share for others to enjoy what we do here. Ultimately, subscribe. And this is the only channel that will give you 3 particular things. We are giving you travel insight, we are giving you scholarship insight, we are giving you everyday life, or I call it the lifestyle pulse on ABJ Vlogs. And so please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to apply, once you have applied for the scholarship and then you have progressed, that you have passed the documents check stage, your documents are being taken to the department, you have passed that stage, and now the department invites you for an interview. So these are the things that you really have to prepare yourself for. Next thing that the university will tell you is that, hey, kindly download. They use a particular application called the VOV. If you're outside China, it's called the VOV, VOOV, the VOV meeting. But if you're in China, it is called the Tencent meeting. So usually the university will add the particular application to it and tell you that download it. But one of the mistakes that I've realized that some of the university make is that they do not know that VOV, if you're in China, it's called Tencent, because Tencent is actually for Chinese. But once they've made the international version, so once you're outside the walls of China, then the Tencent will not be able to work for you. So they need to add that you have to download the VOV meeting. Some universities remember to do that, but others create problems for their own people, and then they send them the link for the Tencent. So if you don't know, you download Tencent and you'll not be able to appear for the interview. So that is one of the mistakes. It is not your fault. Yes, it is not your fault, but these are the things that happen. So you have to download the Tencent or the VOV. So, but you can search on it, and then you see that you have to download VOV meeting. Once you download the VOV meeting, they'll give you, just like the Zoom, it operates like the Zoom. Some universities, hardly will Chinese university use Zoom. The worst case scenario, they'll use another one called Deng Talk. Some universities use Deng Talk, and it's always also for Chinese people. You can download, and when you are downloading this application, any of the applications that they'll give you, please make sure you download on your phone and then you download onto your laptop. If you be able to use a laptop, fine. If you will not be able to use, don't feel shy, use a phone, because Chinese people do not really worry about which device you are using. The only thing is that they have to be able to see you and then you appear for the interview. So this is the first thing that you have to do. If you are finding challenges, please, as soon as possible, just alert the university that this is the challenge I'm facing. Usually they will put you in a group. So once you're in the group, you'll have other country mates or other people from other countries who will be in the group and might be able to help you be able to download it. And so that is one thing that I want to tell you, and then you should be ready for that. Okay, so having done all these things, the first thing, even before we come to the things that you really need to prepare, the first thing is that you have to get a friend to test with you. Get a friend to test with you. So call the person on that application and then be familiar with how to navigate the application. Check whether which position you would be able to sit for them to see you clearly, because all these things play an important role. So let a friend assist you and then drive test it. Know that yes, it is going to work, and then now you zoom in into what you want to do. So now, having been called for an interview, first thing is that after doing the basic things, you have to check and read about the university. What at all do you have to know about the university? So you have to know about the department, the kind of professors they have. The department is very important because the interview is skewed towards the department. So know something about the department, which professors are in there, which subject area they told, which research direction the university, the particular program that you have applied for, look at, and then a bit of the history of the university. These things will also help you very, very much. And also the major things that you have to now do, or another important thing that you have to take note, is your own document. So you have to really know about your CV very well. Some people do not even know about their CV, so they ask them question. Why? Because they did not really take time to do their CV. They just went online, picked people's CVs and edited it. So if you are one of them, then now you have to really study the CV, because some questions are going to come from your CV, especially your educational background, and some of the things that you say you know might come up or pop up in the interview. So you have to really know your CV, and you equally have to know your study plan. Now you don't have to say something contrary to your study plan. So in your study plan, because the professors have read your study plan, so in your study plan you said that, oh, I want to study in China because I want to have a girlfriend. Excuse me, but just for example. But they ask you, and then I want to study in China because I want to be the top professor in the world. Now these are contrary. So you have to let your yes be yes and your no just let it be in sync with whatever you are saying. So that is one thing that you really have to know. And these two documents are very important for you. And the other thing is that usually Chinese professors will, okay, introduce yourself. Now, when you want to introduce yourself, one thing I've said about Chinese is that if you want to introduce yourself, generally introduce yourself from different perspectives. Okay, so my name is Emmanuel Mensah, and today I'm happy to appear for this interview. I'll be introducing myself in three perspectives: from the educational perspective, the social perspective, and maybe religious. No, not religious. For religious, we don't have to, but like from educational perspective, social perspective, and maybe family perspective, something like that. Like always address or introduce yourself from perspective. So under education, you narrate whatever you want to say. Under social, your social connections and all of that. And then under family, you can also be able to introduce yourself from that regard. So be ready to do that, and it's really going to help you open up your introduction very, very well. And after having done this, so now you know your study plan, you know your CV, and then you'll be able to introduce yourself from good perspectives to catch the attention of Chinese professors. Now, one thing that I've also realized in recent years is that for Chinese professors, they also require you to do some special thing. They require you to, now I think they would ask, some professors ask direct questions in the domain. So for instance, if you want to study finance, if you want to study accounting, know some basic methodologies, know some basic technical words that they use, because some people have appeared for interview where they ask them about some technical stuff or some basic stuff in their domain and they cannot mention them. That one is a red flag and might not really go down well with you. Just like my background is red today, it's a red flag. But this video is a red flag. It is very important for you. So That is one thing that you really have to understand. Be able to know some technical areas. So they ask you some few methodologies in the area, and then you should be able to. And I forgot one thing to also say, like when you're opening up your statement, at least learn one or two particular Chinese phrases. Ni hao, daja hao, like something, just Chinese phrase, just for them to know that, oh, this person is ready for RAS, this person really wants to be in China. That might not really do the magic, but sometimes it can open up a good conversation. And so, because that will not guarantee you the scholarship, your ability to tell them the questions they ask you. And one thing that I've really found out is that usually they ask you about your research, especially masters and PhD. Which research or what research have you partaken before, or have you what research have you undertaken before, and what was your contribution? Sometimes, if you have a lot of publication, the interview tends to be skewed towards your publication, and so be sure that you know the publications that you have done, your contributions towards those papers, especially for PhDs. These are very, very essential, and it's going to actually help you. And then also be able to express your feeling about China, why you want to come to China, why you want to study in this particular university, and why you want to join this global university, yes, or this Chinese university, to also, and usually how this particular program is going to help you to achieve your purpose or your future goal and all of that. And finally, usually it's going to end up, um, it's going to end on ask, do you have anything to ask? At least try to ask a question. If nothing at all, like I don't know which question that you can ask, but at least show a little, engage them a little, at least engage them, and not to ask, oh please, did I do well? Am I going to pass for this? No, no, no. But like at least, or just something to let them know that you're curious about the university or the program. Also, please, in case I'm accepted, what is the first requirement? Like something, so like just engage them for them to know that you are ready for this. And ultimately, I told you that once you are able to do this thing, I know you'll be like halfway through to the quarter, like we are in the quarterfinal, so you'll be halfway through to the semi-final. The semi-final is where they are going to text you that, hey, congratulations, you have been admitted conditionally to this program. And then the next thing is to wait for your scholarship. And so they're going to decide which scholarship, or they're going to nominate you to the Chinese government scholarship, where you have to wait for the scholarship. So I think, or I believe that these basic things that I've shared, or tips that I've shared, are going to help you know exactly what to do and how you're going to fare in terms of winning a scholarship and preparing for an interview. So until then, if you have any question, please put in the comment section. Let us get involved and let us engage for people to know what we do here. Share for others to like tell me your countries, because I really want to make sure that I have all countries on board supporting this agenda. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. From the books to the flights, new worlds we explore.